Hey, how we doing, everybody? How are we hanging? Ooh, just fade that out very softly. Thank goodness gracious. How are we doing today, guys? Welcome to the Crusade Rising Visionary Listening Party. Thank you to everyone who's been given love over on Spotify and also on our Bandcamp. If you haven't listened to the album yet on Spotify, it would actually mean a hell of a lot to me if you guys stream it there in particular, just to get our numbers up and stuff, you know. But link is down there in the description of this stream. Also, if you want to purchase the album, we have a beautiful digipack, actually. Let me grab my copy. Right here, we have this beautiful, beautiful digipack, which our boy Rage, who designed everything, should be in chat with us here. Let me make sure everything's visible. Yeah, got this. We have, weirdly enough, which I think works great, we have all of the credits on the back, and then on the inside, it's almost perfect for signing. So you have it on the inside. But yeah. So you can buy that on our Bandcamp. That's in the link in the description as well. Thanks, Stevio. I appreciate you, brother. Yes, we did freaking work incredibly hard here. We're going to start off with the Q&A. If anyone has any questions or the cover is a disappointment, thanks, dude. Appreciate you. Sorry, I use Apple Music. That's fine, Eduardo. We'll take the stats wherever we can find them. But either way, yeah, we worked a long time on this album. It probably took way too long, honestly, on our end, but that has a lot to do with the fact that I was putting stuff off when I was focusing too much on other projects, some of which aren't even finished yet. Album listening hasn't even started, and there's some negativity. It's fine. I mean, hey, if people don't like the album art, that's fine. I mean, and that's not going to please everyone on that. Can we do the Nookie by Limp Bizkit? Fuck you, Phil. God damn it. Fucking Limp Bizkit bullshit. The album's good. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Make a great addition to my CD collection of Avantasia. Thanks, Avalon. I appreciate you, man. Shipping to Mexico? Yeah, we will be shipping to Mexico, Diglett. We're shipping worldwide. We're not going to be keeping anyone out of availability on that. Already heard it on Spotify. It was a nice album. Thank you. I appreciate you, great GP. Been so caught up in your album that I've barely even looked at LTE 3. That is a high compliment. Thank you very much, man. Seriously, that really does mean a hell of a lot. Mike, is there going to be a support tour for this album once COVID cools down more? And who's going to be your live vocalist? Those are two great questions. We're not 100% sure yet. We still don't have a full lineup on the band. So, as some of you may already know, we actually had several guest lead guitar players come in and play on this album. Is it shipping to India? Yes. Several guest lead guitar players on this album. I did do some of the leads, but not the majority of them. And then we also had several guest vocalists on here. And we really needed that because during COVID season was when we expected to be, start doing our weekender tours outside of Nashville. You know, we had dates in Atlanta and Greenville, South Carolina lined up. We were looking at lining up Chicago, Indianapolis, and St. Louis. And COVID completely screwed the pooch on that. And during that time, we were going to be scouting out shows to see if we could find vocalists for the project. So we still don't have a dedicated live vocalist yet. However, that is our first priority getting into this. Is you're singing on tracks 3 and 4 is nice. Thank you. Before we're ever going to do anything like a tour, we absolutely need the vocalist for sure. Even if we need to hire someone, if it's really in that demand, if we need to hire someone, I think I know who we're going to hire. Most likely. And if we're not, we definitely want to make sure that the vocals are solidified in before we take that on tour. Lead guitar, we have a guy in mind. I just haven't had the time to actually sit down with him and run him through the parts. Interestingly enough, as not complicated as other prog sounds, on this album, the parts are not intuitive, if that makes any sense. You can't normally just listen to it and be like, oh, I know exactly where this is at on the fretboard for some of the stuff. So a lot of guys are just be like, what's it? Can you show me this? which is cool. I get that. I think outside of the usual guitar player box when it comes to other genres, at least. But either way, let me pop back up here, see if I missed any questions. But yeah, eventually we will be taking this on tour. Anthony Fantano will give it a 10 out of 10. I don't think so. Like, I would be thrilled if he gave it a 7, honestly. I feel like prog is not Anthony's thing at all. And I feel like if he gave us a terrible critique, he would say it's tired and it's been done before, which I don't agree with personally, but I could see someone saying that, and being like, okay, I understand how you came to that conclusion. Album is a highlight in a very, very busy week. Can we see a list of all of the guest musicians on which songs they appeared on? So Uneasy Monkey, I will be doing that in live chat as the songs are up. I guess I should have made a display. Thank you, Rex Drex. I appreciate that, man. I guess I should have made a display saying who was on what track. That would have been a proper thing to do, but I'll make sure I make a note of it in the live chat. Fabian says, would love to have this album on vinyl someday. We've had a number of people say something about vinyl. That's something that we wanted to hold off on because, I'll be honest, we sold a lot more of the physical CDs in pre-order than we had ever anticipated. We actually had to order another batch. That's how much we sold. We ordered another batch before release day. That was like, oof, like, a little scary. But great, it's an excellent, wonderful thing that you want to see as a starting band. Full album credits are on the Bandcamp page. That is correct. Full album credits are on the Bandcamp page. But as far as vinyls, we've had a lot of people interested thus far. I don't know that it's been a ton of people. I just don't know that that's an expense we want to justify just yet. But I mean, considering how interested people are this far, it's something we're definitely going to consider, without a doubt. I'm not a huge vinyl collector myself, but I know a lot of people are. So either way, yeah, freaking how long we've been on here. All right, let's go another like 3 to 5 minutes here, and then we can get started on the album. What made you guys choose the name Rising Visionary? Is there any reason for that? It was the last thing we considered. Was the name of the album. Hold on one second, Ezio. She'll forgive me. I'm not sure if I can pronounce that name correctly. Is that Paradosky? I hope that's correct. Or Paradosky. I usually listen to music while doing ironing. Guess what album is set to be listened to next time I do it? Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. The name Rising Visionary, I think, well, the word rising had two dual meanings. So we wanted to include the word visionary as a succinct way of summing up a lot of the themes, which was the duality of man type of thing, which it comes into play all the time. The idea of dreams, the idea of ambition, the idea of loss, and some type of forward thinking, I think, is a big part of it, which are a lot of the themes that happen in the album. And then rising in the sense of, this is our beginning album. This is our young moment, and even a young moment for a lot of the stories on the album. But also rising is another word for agriculture and breaking up the dirt, or if you've ever heard the term of rising a city, in the sense that the person who is a visionary, all visionaries go through extreme turmoil internally and sometimes even externally, so that was kind of the thought there. It was trying to include the conflict portion of that. And fuck off, Connor. Thank you, Connor. That was kind of the idea behind that. Is it a concept album? No, I would say that there's themes throughout, but I wouldn't say it's a coherent, cohesive story or concept. But yeah, I think you'll pick up on that stuff as it goes along. Hey, album is great. It's very therapeutic since I had to put down the doggo a couple of days ago. I'm very sorry to hear that, Andrew. But thank you very much for the love, man. And best to you and your family dealing with the poor dog. Jack says, was it worth the work? I think it was great, by the way. It was 1,000% worth the work. I wish that we would have gotten this out sooner. And again, that falls squarely on my shoulders. We put in a lot of fucking work, as you guys can tell, and we wanted to make damn sure that we were proud of this product, and we wanted to make sure, I mean, with any work of art, considering you have to have deadlines, there are things where like, we wish we could have this or wish we could have that, you know? But at the end of the day, even with the blemishes that we see in it, we still acknowledge that it's really fucking solid. And we're very proud of that. But yeah, I mean, it's 1,000% worth the work. I don't even know what this is going to do for us necessarily as far as financially, but I have high hopes. And even if it doesn't do financially amazing, I have enough faith that people who actually listen to it will enjoy it and will have their lives made better by listening to it. And that's all you can really ask for as an artist, is actually being able to help someone else with your music. So that's my thing. Can't find Codename It on the channel. You mean my YouTube channel? Yeah, we took that down. That was a cringy video, a not great mix, which actually had a lot to do with our recordings we sent over to Adam. Yeah, we took that down. We'll probably do something else with Codename It in the future. Did you do most of the writing on the album, or is that more an even split? So I was the primary writer on almost every single track, except track 2, the lead single, Insatiable. That was Jesse. Jesse and I guess, like, okay, the group of us at rehearsal one day, we're at rehearsal, and you know how I was like really getting hard on myself and hard on everyone. I was just in the shitter emotionally, and we were on a smoke break. And as I was going back up, I was just not wanting to rehearse anymore. Said to the guys, hey, you want to write? And everyone's like, yes, let's write. So we go back upstairs and we jam out like this chord progression that I think Jesse mostly figured out the chord progression. We kind of went between it with us, but I think he kind of led on that. And we started jamming it out with Ryan and Steve, and they kind of found their parts. And originally I was down towards the middle to lower register of the guitar, and I was just like, I'm muddying it up, I'm not adding anything here. Jesse has that segment of the frequency spectrum covered, let's see what I can cover up top. And then I came up with, by accident, that melody, dun, 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 that whole thing. And then we recorded a quick jam of it on Jesse's laptop, and he took that home and just fucking blew it up, man. Like it was awesome. He put together this great structure with these cool segments and chord progressions and loose melodies. And I wound up rewriting a number of the guitar parts that were in there, which is what he intended. You know, he makes very bare bones, very bare bones demos that we kind of take and flourish off of. But yeah, other than that, I was the primary writer on most of these, and there's different levels of writing influence throughout the album from different members. I don't know if now is the greatest time to dive too deep into that, just because we have to get started on the actual listening portion of the party. But we'll take this last super chat, and then we'll move on. What guitars did you use for each song? By the way, I love the new mix of Codename It. Old mix felt kind of flat, but the album breathed new life into it. Yeah, I fully agree, man. And like I was saying, 1 second. Like I was saying, that's not our mixing engineer's fault mostly. I would say partly it's because our original mixing engineer for Codename It had a lot more 80s synth pop influence, and that was kind of his thing. Not that he can't do other genres. I think that's more where he pulls his what do you call it? His influence from when he's listening and picturing and visioning. But that was also because a lot of the recordings we sent over weren't fabulous. So that was a lot on us as well. As far as the guitar, this is the guitar that was used for like 90% of the guitars on there. This was all rhythm guitars, except for track 7. Track 7 was almost completely the JP7 from Music Man. I fucking love this guitar so much. This thing is such a beast. This guy was used on a handful of leads, some clean guitars. Whoopsie. This is the Schecter Keith Merrow 6-string signature. This guy would have been used a lot more if he arrived before I started tracking guitars, because I fucking love this guitar. This guitar is mostly retired at this point for several reasons, but we'll talk about that another time. Either way, all right. Fuck. All right. I will do these last few super chats, but then we really have to get into it. We really have to get into it. All right. Thank you guys for the love. I appreciate it. Firewall Dragon says, how many of the songs did you do vocals on? I did vocals on tracks 3 and 4. That would be House of Cards and Vision. Yo Hatchet says, I'm a pianist, keyboardist, and have already started trying to learn the beginning of Standing Before the Fall. It's so good. Thank you. I conceived that while working in a fucking office. Ben says, you cute. Fuck you, you sexy thick bastard. I want that juicy ass in my mouth. Connor Murphy says, how big pee-pee? Big enough for you, baby. All right. We're going to get started now, guys. I'll be in the live chat with you, answering any questions or putting in comments. But, yeah. Let's get right into it.
What the hell is destiny? Bleeding hearts and broken dreams. Meaningless is anything. Find it where you will. In the size of cataclysm, foundations made to break. All it took my everything for the savior than to say mistake. You awaken me, you forsaken my name. The power to turn me, the power to make. to find their ending, standing above an expectation, fighting the horror to acquaint with them. Passionate lights I've lived from precious moments, only to dwindle to a headstone. How do the moments make you more of a man? Life escapes before you know. Tell me what I have to show. My name is unknown. What good are deeds when in the resting upon the shore. I clear my lungs of anger, open my eyes to more than living as a stranger.
Of course, boom mic gonna be booming. Of course. Like I said when I just got back, after all that, I'd say it's probably still an equal sign, honestly. But no, I was saying thank you guys for hanging with us for the live stream. Thank you guys for listening along. As you can tell, we put a lot of hard work into it. And it's kind of crazy, honestly, thinking about where all this started and thinking about where I'm at now, literally live with you guys on here, listening to all this hard work we put into it. It's pretty crazy. It's a little overwhelming, especially with all the stuff that we have to keep track of. This is not by any means the end of the road. This is just the beginning. Thank you guys so much for the love in chat. I really do appreciate it. Close to a perfect album. I don't even know that I would agree with that, but I appreciate the props anyway. Seriously. Thank you very much. He's not muted anymore. Thank you, Ben. Remember when it started? Yeah, Jake was around for those times. But I started the YouTube channel specifically to promote my music. And I guess now it's not really just my music anymore. It's our music as a band, and also I guess kind of our music as an audience since it's out there in public. 1 second there, Firewall Dragon. But yeah, I mean, I'm super thrilled with the response thus far, and still have a lot of PR to go, man. We got to get these in front of people's ears. Actually, we're going to be doing a giveaway. That Crusade meme that I did of the Crusader for one of the live streams. I'm going to be having a giveaway for people who share that, the chance to win one of our t-shirts. Firewall Dragon says, who did the clean vocals on track 1, 2, and 7? 1 and 7 are Jeremiah Ritchie, and 2 is our boy Jesse Brock. Album was fantastic, but the last song wasn't even 20 minutes. Damn it, Post. I knew we should have kept it longer, man. I'm sorry. That last track was, I would say, close to 65, 70% me, and then the rest of it was Jesse as far as writing goes. Instead of buying the albums, I don't collect physical. Much love to the whole band. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Just listen to it on Spotify. That really goes a long way for us, honestly. All right, we've promote your music. Time to shut the channel down. Right? No, obviously I'm going to keep the fucking the channel going for sure. But yeah, I mean, I actually do want to make a video on that too. I really do want to make a video on promoting this album, so, as an example for other people how to promote their albums. You know, it's not an easy thing to do. How do we create the Crusade band logo? I don't know if Andrew Brodish is still in the chat, but he actually hand calligraphied it at Andrew. Yeah, he is. Here he is. Made the Crusade band logo by hand. He actually did the calligraphy itself. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab it. I still have it here. This is the original that I commissioned Andrew for years ago. I was still working a day job when Andrew made this for me, and we sent it off to someone to turn into vector art, and then we had the logo made out of that. Can you also pee so you can do bingo? Yeah, we are going to start doing bingo for Song Suggestion Friday, just because there's so much funny, stupid shit that happens on there. Far from perfect, but solid debut. Got something to build off of now. Looking forward to what you guys can put out next. Yeah. I think you guys are going to be really happy with the next one. The next one around is going to be a lot more of everyone else included in the influence of writing as well. Made the logo by sticking. Oh, fuck off, Ben. Listening party over, back to keys. Word. Oh, I'm standing before the fall. Rock and roll, man. I appreciate you. Yeah. There's amazing keys parts on that song. I mean, all over the album, honestly. See, looks like the moon from Bayonetta. Yeah, he did add kind of like the moon factor in there, which goes along with like kind of the Crusade thing, which I thought was really cool. Honestly, even just the C by itself stands really well. We need to start putting that on some merch, honestly. Heck of a foundation. Yeah, I agree. As a debut album, I think it's very strong. I think it's very, very strong. And I am very excited to see where we go next, honestly. I think what I'm going to be doing once I get some time, that wonderful shit I like playlist, that's a largely a compilation of music that you guys have suggested. I'm going to be going through there and binging. I'm going to be binging incredibly fucking hard. And kind of using that as finding inspiration points of where to write from. Kevo says, I bought the album, pre-ordered it actually. I'm more old school when it comes to consumption. My old ass will eventually catch up to the kids. Great album, melted my face. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I mean, it's not Limp Bizkit, but I definitely enjoyed it. Thank you, Smith fan. I appreciate you. I know it's not Limp Bizkit. We tried. We tried to have the vocal prowess of Fred Durst, but we could not quite achieve that mode. Oh, goodness. Signature become the night guitar anytime soon? Not anytime soon that I'm aware of. I have to be relevant enough for a guitar company to actually want to do that, because that means that they have to sell them, which means that you guys would have to buy them. So keep that in mind. And to stand before the ball, my prog metal epica playlist on Spotify. Appreciate you, man. That's awesome. Prove this. They put a triangle, strongest shape on the cover. Yo, I'm from Nepal. That's cool, right? Sure. I mean, you guys got the tallest fucking mountain in the world over there. That's something to speak for. Dude, that would be a dream to get a Music Man signature. That would be absolutely amazing. Yeah, Tyler, if you caught the end of it, I mean, there's links to it on Spotify in the description. Go ahead and listen to it down there. We really, really would love the support of listening to it on Spotify. We want to get on all the fucking algorithmic playlists we possibly can. Just listen to the shit out of it on Spotify if you can, guys. That really would mean a hell of a lot. At least Mike's wearing the hat like Fred Durst. Thanks, Yen. Thanks so much, Yen. Yeah, exactly, Taco Man. We got a triangle on the first album, a square on the second album, and a pentagon on the third album. I love the smooth transitions. You guys plan on doing something like an infinite looping album, or do you think that has been done? Nah, that's not in our keys. No pun intended. That's not in our keys to success. This next album is definitely going to actually be even more cohesive, honestly. This one, luckily, was cohesive enough. I was afraid it was going to be a little bit too disjointed, honestly, especially with the changing vocalists all the time. But you know, once you're like 3 tracks in, you get the point that it's going to be different vocalists on each track, so you kind of get adjusted to that. And I would say overall the sound works together as an album, just because I try so hard not to sound like myself, and I always do in my own way. But I'd say that the tracks are different enough that it's not just one flat sound throughout. There's different tracks that do different things. You know, I think that was important. and we tried hard to make that happen. Next album, a concept album? Maybe not. I'm not sure. This album needed more blast beats and whiny indie vocals. That would have made it an easy 10 out of 10. Well, sorry, Ezio. I think you're going to be waiting for that one for a long time. Although Jesse really, really wants to experiment more with blast beats. Which, obviously, I am wary of, as you guys know. But, I mean, there's great creative, fun ways of doing blast beats. So I'm not closed off to it. But I'm going to be real fucking gatekeepery about the blast beats. That's for damn sure. Not as much Metallica as I thought. Yeah, I've been spending the last 10 years of my life trying to run away from sounding like Metallica. Oh, thank you very much, Ben. I appreciate you, brother. We appreciate you a lot. Thank you, Metalhead. I appreciate that. Yeah, we did put a lot of work and effort into this album, and I think it shows. Not enough singers. Arion has it right? That's another thing where I was less concerned with it, because there are projects like Arion that are successful where like they have a bajillion fucking singers, but that's also kind of the concept. I don't think it's exactly what we want. When we do finally decide on a final vocalist who will be our permanent member, we're actually considering re-recording all the vocals on the album and doing a second release. When's the dubstep remix coming out? I don't know. But, I mean, if anyone wants to do a dubstep remix, I mean, have at it. Have fun. Breakdown and Vision kills. Yeah, that's mostly Jesse's idea. I would say that was jammed out, so, like, we kind of co-wrote it in a sense. But the idea of having it there was Jesse's for sure. Oh, there's a hint of my chem in there, Ben. And honestly, I would love that. Thank you, Yen. I appreciate that. I would actually be interested in incorporating more my chem, honestly. Partly because of the catchiness, but also because they do really interesting things with melody. I think that they are very underrated for that. I can see why people don't like the whiny emo-ness of it, but I mean, especially Black Parade, dude. There's some really, really well-written parts in there. It's not the most complicated shit. It's just really well written. All sits greatly together, you know. So I'd be interested in adding more of that to it, to be frank. Let's see. About an hour into the stream. Just have everyone do vocals in the band like Chicago. God, I hope not. I don't want, like, okay. People have asked me why I don't sing permanently. One, I'm not a trained singer. I've had some training, but I am so out of practice. And it takes a lot for me to nail those parts. And sometimes I don't even nail them, you know? So, like, I could be if I really wanted to put my time and effort into it, but I really don't. I would much rather be composer and guitar player, because that's where I get the most fulfillment myself. Not that I won't be singing other stuff. I just won't be with Crusade, you know. I'm going to be working on my solo EP coming up here soon, and I'll be doing the vocals on that. So, I mean, you'll hear that. A bluegrass remix? I'd be very interested to hear how bluegrass reinterprets the Crusade Rising Visionary album. Do you even enjoy singing that much? Actually, I do. I don't like singing on an album, but as the actual act of singing, yeah. I mean, one of my favorite things is karaoke. I just haven't done it as much lately because there's been so much music in my life already. I'm just kind of like, I just don't even want to fucking deal with it, you know? But there's something really exhilarating and fun about singing publicly. Like, very, very fun, especially when you can do it well. If the next album could be an infinite looping concept album called The Wall, that would be great. All right. Well, I'll propose that to the other band members, Connor. I'll be sure to bring that up to them. New Greta Van Fleet is actually very good. So I've listened to the few singles over Christmas vacation, and again, it's one of those situations where I wouldn't say it's a plus sign for me, but it's definitely substantially more mature than their first two albums. It feels like they're starting to actually experiment more with their sound. I'm hoping that the other songs on the album that I haven't heard yet are more interesting. But who knows? Who knows? All I know is I like the production very much on that. Next album should be Peruvian pan flute. I mean, I'd love to include that stuff, man. Octavision included that and it sounded fucking amazing. The clean vocals into the screamed but still clean parts and Standing Before the Fall are fucking great and unique. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. I'll let Jeremiah know. Jeremiah Ritchie actually was a contestant on The Voice. He is an insanely talented vocalist. Really, really, really good. And he's actually a friend of mine now. I met him through a mutual friend, my boy Seth, who's an incredible bass player. And yeah, we're definitely going to be doing more work with Jeremiah for sure. Wouldn't say it's a plus sign for me. Mike most of the time, all the time. Yeah. Yep. Accurate. A WAP cover? Nah, I'm good. What about an album mixing bluegrass and bossa nova? I don't know if I want the bossa nova. Surprised there was no Cardi B feature. How could we? How could we? Cardi B WAP cover, but it's actually music. Favorite metal producer? I don't know that I have one offhand, honestly. Yeah, I would have to say, I mean, as far as that goes, maybe Steven Wilson, just because I love Opeth that much. But yeah, I would say I don't really have one offhand. I hope I can see Crusade in Australia, but I'll most likely come to America to see you first. Yeah, I mean, it's good. Like we're already throwing around the idea that of what a European tour would look like, and we would need some seriously guaranteed shows and most likely some funding before we could even pull that off. Australia is even further off than that, my man. But I know there's an audience there for us for sure. Standing Before the Fall was Jeremiah Ritchie too. That is correct. Google says he's a country guy, so I really wouldn't have expected this. So Jeremiah mostly plays around in the singer-songwriter / country world, because that's where he's really more comfortable. But he used to be a vocalist for a metal band way back in the day. He loves this stuff. It was like he wanted to take it on because he actually found it interesting, and frankly, I think he was getting bored with the shit that he was doing. You know, it challenged him a lot, and it took quite a bit to produce him through it. But he was so happy with doing this, and he was like really honored that we asked him to be on here, and that meant a lot to me because I thought we were fucking honored to have his talent on the record. You know, like it was very much a very mutual respect between the two of us. You know, he's incredibly talented, great fucking guy too, great fucking family man. But all right, I think that'll do it for me today. But I'm gonna pop off here. I'll leave this on VOD for a little bit, but not super long. Sorry to anyone who's watching this in post and has "You're Not Welcome" just fucking screaming in your ears. Oh my God, I am so sorry. I'll have to pin a comment about that. But either way, I do seriously love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the amazing feedback. And listen to the fucking thing on Spotify, please. Blow it up on fucking Spotify. That really would help us a lot. And I guess we will be seeing you soon. Oh, after party on Discord. If you're on the Discord, I'll catch you guys later.
Bleeding hearts and broken dreams, meaningless as anything. Find it where you will. Indecisive cataclysm, foundations made to break.